function, pumping and dumping, manipulate the market, flooded from the darknet, flooded from the deep web, keep it a secret. Every exchange got the nerdy brains trading on the frequent.
Hello, everyone out there. Let's go fix that. I'm sorry about that. I know what's going on. See, normally I have a microphone in here, but that, sorry, I usually have like a plug-in that way the audio is separate from what you were hearing, but I don't have that plug, so sorry about the screeching earlier. Let me just make sure I'm not chipmunking. Hold on a second. I'm getting some lag here, and I'm having a hard time hearing what's going on. Perfect. Okay, so the audio is working. Yay! Yay! I'm so happy right now. So apologies for the noise, but I'm going to do my spiel and I'm going to explain the situation in a moment. Hi, everyone out there. Welcome to the DCG 201 live stream channel. I am known as Sidepocket. I'm one of the two co-founders of DCG 201, aka DEF CON 201, is formerly known as, or DC 201, formerly known as. We are one of the many DEF CON groups that meet up in person. Third Friday every month for us in Jersey City, hence the 201 is in New Jersey, hence the logo. We meet up third Friday of the month, and we're one of the many groups that are across the United States, around the world. Sorry I'm that little flustered. I had a hell of a weekend because I recently volunteered for SummerCon, and it was also my first SummerCon. But I had good enough friends there that they needed help, so I volunteered, and you'll probably see me wear SummerCon swag that I got in the future. I just figured that this is a more lightweight shirt, and it says, it's crypto thing on it with a polka dot over here, so that's why I'm wearing it. Apologies for the noise. There's a little bit of background. Let's put it this way, I don't have a permanent quiet space anymore. So if you remember, last time we actually streamed from Polka Dot Decoded itself, where I got this shirt. And then for Master of Unlocking, we were at a local Starbucks, which they were awesome. The problem was the music. Well, we're at McDonald's. Not sponsored by McDonald's, but we're at McDonald's, and it's this nice. Even when people are up here, it's really quiet. There's no music. Unfortunately, there's two flies that I want to kill, but I can't help without. So if you see me like do this, that's because there's like two flies being annoying. And so if you also hear any background noises, like the machines going off and people yelling orders, it's because we're at McDonald's. I'm hoping in the next 2 months get a new permanent quiet space, a new streaming space. So in the meantime, you'll just have to put up with this. So let's sort of get into what we're doing here. So this is one of my 2 live stream shows that I do throughout when we're not streaming meetings and specials. And this one is known as Crypto Barons. This is the show where we look at cryptocurrency and blockchain technologies as technologies, which is confusing because even though I guess Twitch glitched and it was still streaming and making and crafting, and I had to quickly change it over to crypto really fast. But yes, we look at cryptocurrency and blockchain technologies. We look at white papers, we try to do the math in real time, we test nets, we run test nets, we try to break test nets, we run wallets, we look at code on GitHub, things like that. There's a lot of coding fails on here. And it's also kind of special because, as you probably have also heard, before I get into that, if you want to know more about our group and about like these special shows like this and what's coming up, because there's going to be a lot coming up tomorrow, never mind now, until the end of August. You can check us out on multiple things. We are still redoing our website. I know it's been 2 months, but we're getting there. Slow and steady hopefully wins the race. But in the meantime, you can check out our blog, which is at defcon201.medium.org, which I just posted in the chat. We also have a bunch of social media out there. Our 2 popular ones are on the Twitters, which is at defcon201nj. Sorry about that. That's just the frickin' I don't have this on a stand, so it's going to be a little wobbly. And Instagram at just defcon201. But we're also on GitHub, which we're going to be looking at in a moment. We're on the hostx.social instance of Mastodon. We're on minds.com. We're on so many different platforms. So we made a link tree that I'm about to post in the chat that has all of our social media right there. In the future, we might, when we get the domains corrected, we might temporarily forward it to the link tree until we get our proper website up and running again. If you like the content that you see today, you can hit that Like, share, subscribe completely for free to us on our 3 main platforms, Twitch, DLive, and YouTube. When you do that, we get notifications on the live stream and cheer you on. And you can even follow us when we're non-live stream. It's just more fun when we do so. We're also streaming on a bunch of other platforms such as Diode Zone on PeerTube, which is an awesome technological group. And unfortunately, we are also streaming on Facebook because you have to go where the laymen's are. If you're on Facebook and you want to chat with us, there is a way to do so. You just kind of have to hack things in order to get it to work. So I just posted in chat the link if you're on Facebook in order to chat with us. Lastly, before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's episode, you might notice there's some extra, like, the whole display's fancy, but you might notice, like, if there's an extra banner above me, there's a weird QR code in the corner. What's all of that? Well, you've all probably heard of the Roe v. Wade ruling. The whole SCOTUS ruling with Roe v. Wade. Basically, this is the beginning of taking away our rights. And I'm not even talking about people with uteruses. I'm not talking about women and trans people. They're definitely affected. But there's a fundamental privacy right that affects all Americans. And now they're using that as a template to strip down other amendments. There's talk about stripping down the Fourth Amendment. There's been talks about basically turning everything, like even going worse than what was that thing that Bush stupidly made that Clinton led up to? More things worse than like Homeland Security and stuff. It's just we basically have a corrupt SCOTUS and they're just running wild. So to help the immediate bleeding, pun semi-intended with what's going on, we are raising funds for the National Abortion Federation. This is a group where, now, the reason why we're doing them is because we're limited through Tiltify, even though we love the Tiltify platform. We're limited with what charities we can pick out, right? However, this org supports a ton of clinics, hospitals, and medical personnel, as well as also like the ACLU with like legal stuff all across the United States to provide education, training, and legal backing for people who want to have a choice whether to bring a child into this world to get eventually shot at school or to mercy kill them right there. That's just kind of the fact there. So we kind of set the bar low. We set it to $400. We're expecting especially donations to come in when we cover Hope, which will be next week, which I'll talk about at the end of the episode around 9:30, 9:40 p.m. our time. But there's multiple ways you can donate. And if you have $20 or $50, that's great, okay? We love that. I forgot to put the charity tag on Twitch. But a lot of times the way we've met our goals in the past is people just donating like $1 or $3 or $5. So even if you just have $1 to spare, and trust me, I know it's like to be broke. I've been broke for a while. All of that piles up, and all of that actually counts. Like, it's not bullshit saying. It's actually something that happens. So there's multiple ways you can donate. If you want to donate to this episode, I'll be doing reminders. If you are on Twitch, if you scroll down next to the GitHub widget, we have a Tiltify widget, so you can donate right there without leaving the live stream. If you have your phone and you're a very mobile person, you can click on that QR code in the corner. It's not a hack QR code, hence the little Tiltify logo. They provided us that. And you can scan that and go through your phone. If you're on anything else, we're about to post the link where you can directly donate to the National Abortion Federation. And in future episodes, we're actually going to have a link to another group that also directly funds stuff. And if you show us the receipt for that, we will also cheer you on and count that in. Finally, because we are crypto barons, we understand the limitations, and trust me, we're going to get into the media episode in a second. We understand the limitations that Tiltify only deals with fiat cash. However, there is a way for your cryptocurrency to also help. Through the amazing people at the Giving Block, which we covered in our December 2021 episode, a couple episodes ago, there's an amazing other group called Medical Students for Choice, who directly trains doctors, nurses, and clinic personnel on how to perform safe, legal abortions. And you can donate. They support a ton of cryptocurrency. They support the big ones: Bitcoin, Litecoin, Doge, Ethereum. I think Ethereum Classic as well, Monero. But they also support a lot of like niche coins and shit coins and emerging cryptocurrencies and stuff. So if you have crypto to spare, don't worry about if you can't donate to Tiltify. You can instead click this link from the giving block and donate to the Medical Students for Choice. Either one is excellent. So now that we got that away, and I'm going to take a sip break, what are we doing this episode? Well, I had an original plan for this episode. We were going to cover something completely different this episode. I was planning it for a while, and then unfortunately what happened, as it does in the crypto world, because of this bearish market out there, as also things are imploding, basically the crypto coin I was going to cover, in which I needed to have a certain amount in order to do the technological thing that it does, which is not staking, believe it or not, it skyrocketed in value over the course of 4 days, to the point where it is now too rich for me. I'm basically going to wait a couple of paychecks so that I can either put that currency or their expensive ass NFT, and I'll probably cover the episode at worst the thing I wanted to cover in late August. It's probably going to happen in September. Why is my nose so shiny? What the fuck? It's this weird lighting. I brought the other light, but I realized how bright this is in here. I didn't really need it. So we're going to cover something else. We're going to cover something that was really exciting, and then we bolted a very recent news article to that. So later, so what we're going to do is we're going to cover some ransomware that's been rocking the entire cryptosphere right now because, you know, cryptocurrency needs more bad news and more comeuppance to snake oil salesmen than it already has. And then we're going to take a very short break, and then we're going to go right into the core of it, where we're going to visit back. Remember a couple episodes ago, we covered the Avalanche blockchain and network and the Avax token? Well, we're going to go back to that because they have an amazing tutorial on how minting works on a blockchain, and you can actually mint an ERC-20 token through their chain. So we're going to try their tutorial, and we're going to see if we can run the code and actually do this, because their documentation, their code worked really well. It's not a sarcasm, worked extremely well last episode. So that's what we're going to do. So let's switch down to desktop mode. I'm going to switch down to the viewing. And first of all, that's our Medium blog if you click on there. And I just want to point out one quick thing on here, which is that we have begun to do the guides for Hacker Summer Camp. Now, the first time we did these guides, the first two times, it was just Hacker Summer Camp. So we only covered that second week of August, where, oh, by the way, I also love an active chat. If you have any questions about what we're covering when I'm talking about my weird hair, why the fuck we're at McDonald's and stuff, where these fucking flies are coming from, please let me know in chat. Otherwise, if you're here to lurk and learn, as I always say, keep lurking and keep learning. But we only used to do the Hacker Summer Camp week, right? That was that second week of August. We covered B-Sides, Black Hat, and DEF CON itself. Then everything went virtual, and Hope got a lot closer to Hacker Summer Camp. Like Hacker Summer Camp was like a week later, and a bunch of other smaller interesting cons popped up. So we covered 2 weeks. Well, now apparently, I don't know what they put in like the Jolt Cola or Soylent that everyone's been drinking lately in the hacker community. The only thing that I will say, if this page ever loads, is that you hackers out there, I guess you all really missed meeting each other in person, because you decided to host a record number of hacker conventions from July to August, like literally the 1st of July, the end of August, and I can't even cover them all. So literally, we have a shit ton of guides. We already wrote this one, which is how to survive Vegas and New York, because those are going to be the two main areas. Any specifics we cover in the individual guides. We've also covered, there's multiple capture the flags, and there was a hackathon called a knit by the Major League Hacking that just ended, and it was absolutely fabulous. We just did SummerCon. Again, I volunteered for there, and literally we are going to have 13 guides for 13 conventions that happen between now, that have already happened, and all the way to the end of August. And we have this guide, which covers how to survive the cities that they're in. And then the last one is the SIGs events and parties that are only in Las Vegas, because there's not really much going on in New York. So I can point out now that the next guide that will be coming up in the next 3 days is we're going to do a guide exclusively for Tor Camp, and I've always wanted to cover a hacker camp, and this is the big one in America. We're going to do a guide, which is going to debut at our meeting on the 15th for A New Hope, which is this year's Hackers on Planet Earth. It's going to be coming back physically in Queens. We're going to put out the guide to Diane Initiative, because we're going to skip ahead because they're doing their stuff digitally also this weekend. And then 2 weeks from now, we're going to do, following week, or maybe even the end of this week, we're going to do Ring Zero, which is an awesome training thing. And then we're going to go right into next 2 weeks will be FuzzCon, B-Sides Las Vegas, Black Hat USA, Houston X, and DEF CON, with then the final week in the middle of August being SplitCon and Blue Team Con, as well as the SIG showing up somewhere between there. So it's a lot of guides, and I personally write these guides. So that's been a whole thing, and I just wanted to highlight that before we go into the meat and potatoes of everything. Never mind our own meetings and events and stuff. So with that out of the way, I'm going to do something really lewd and really gay, and we're going to look at some cute boys. This is the thing that has been devastating the cryptocurrency and blockchain development crowds. I will explain it in my own words in a moment, but the amazing people who originally found this, which is at Checksmarks, made a quick video that I'm going to switch over, and I think they can intro explain it better than I can, and then I'll give my own take on this insane piece of malware, this crypto mining malware that has recently just rocked just everything. It's freaking insane. So let's switch over and let's hear what I just forgot their name. What Checkmarks, because I keep thinking Chex and cereal. What Checkmarks has to say about what they have dubbed, hilariously enough, as CuteBoi.
I wonder. Checkmark's supply chain security team has detected some unusual activity on NPM. A burst of over 1,200 packages by close to 1,000 new unique users were suspiciously published to the NPM platform within days. These users and packages were created and published automatically by a threat actor we named CuteBoi. All packages contained a copy of a popular crypto miner software designed to take advantage of unused resources of the victim's machines and send mined cryptocurrency to the threat actor. There is good news and bad news in this plot. The good news is that we have been proactively tracking and detecting attacks starting from the staging phase, mitigating CuteBoi's packages the moment they are published. These bursts of packages seem to be part of a staging part by the threat actor, since all current versions of these packages don't run the crypto miner software upon installation, and we are seeing CuteBoi continually adding improvements. The bad news is, we have seen this kind of automation technique before by the threat actor Red Lily. Unlike Red Lily, it seems CuteBoi found a ready-made service called MailTM to do the heavy lifting of creating emails for them, allowing them to automate the registration process of sites which require email confirmation. CuteBoi is the second attack group seen this year using automation to launch large-scale attacks on NPM. As the barrier to launch packages en masse automatically is lowering, we can expect to see many more cases of threat actors taking advantage of this to escalate their attacks. There are still hundreds of CuteBoi packages available on the NPM registry, so we have published a website documenting the activities of CuteBoi, which is available at cuteboi.info. We encourage open source developers to stay vigilant and check that they are not affected by this attack. Thank you for watching, keep safe, and see you next time.
So, as I'm just going to kind of sum up here, and let me zoom in a bit more so we can all properly read this. So this is, so let me go to Checkmarks themselves, just so we can get from the source. I'm actually going to go back and forth between the Hacker News and Checkmarks' own website. So let's do all of this. Checkmarks researchers has disclosed what they said could be an attempted to kick off a new large-scale cryptocurrency mining campaign targeting my favorite jank version of JavaScript, the NPM JavaScript package repository. The malicious activity attributed to software supply chain by threat actor that has been dubbed CuteBoi, and in fact I'm going to go to their original article where they explain their naming process here. They said that it includes over 1,200 packages of which more than 1,000 are still available on the NPM registry. The packages are almost duplicated code from the Easy Miner package, which is a JavaScript wrapper around XMR, and that the wrapper was designed to utilize unused resources of machines such as CI/CD and web servers. So if we look up the NPM package here, this is the NPM package for Easy Miner, so we can see how kind of it's structured here. So it's public. It was published 7 months ago. This is where you can mine particularly XMR Monero cryptocurrencies from server-side Node.js with C++ XMR IG. It does both CPU and GPU support, and I'm assuming the plus means that they can do them in tandem combined, and that this particularly targets apparently Linux and Windows. So you might not be targeted if you're using a Macintosh or an Apple computer, although just be warned, this has not been confirmed. That's just my conjecture. And also that just to note that even though even though Mac OS is not Linux, it is based on a core terminal that's based in Unix. So if there is any sort of crossover from the Unix end, it might start eating into Apple and Mac computers. The mining resource apparently has a CPU priority as 0, which means it only uses free and available resources. What this means is that usually you can tell, and we were going to do an episode about this years ago, up until it got like too commonplace to really make it its own episode, which is about crypto mining. Crypto jacking, which is a form of crypto mining, is when there's a piece of software, it can either run through your, common one is it runs through your web browser. It's also going to be something that you download or be snuck into a package or a system update where essentially that program uses your CPU, GPU, or some sort of computing resource in order to mine cryptocurrency back to the person who has targeted your computer. You do this to enough computers, you essentially make your own mining rig botnet of other people's computers, or as I like to call it, it's illegal cloud, because what is cloud? It's someone else's computer, and that's exactly what it's targeting. The usual, like, oh, I think I might be getting crypto jacked, sort of indicator is when your computers, when your CPU starts to spike more than normal, your GPU spikes more than normal, or usually visually, like in real world, your computer will just start heating up out of nowhere. Like you are not on the New York Times website, you're not loading Google Chrome, you're not playing Cyberpunk 2077 on max settings, and all of a sudden it basically it looks like it's trying to port scan the internet a million times because the computer is getting hot, even though all you're doing is just drawing in MS Paint. That probably means that you have some sort of malware, and it's most likely you have a crypto jacking malware that's using, but basically what happened is your CPU and or GPU is kicking into high gear in the background, and it's using that resource to mine. This becomes a problem with this particular thing called Easy Miner, because not only can you just implement it in an NPM JavaScript package, but because it has a CPU priority of 0, it means that it only activates when you have extra CPU or GPU resource, meaning that it will only go up to its actual limit of that CPU or GPU. It will not try to overclock it, which means that your computer probably is not going to spike up or overheat unless you're really paying attention to the actual, like, spike measurements, which is probably why Parrot has it as Parrot OS, which is an attack defense. It's basically like not Kali Linux, but I prefer it personally. They have like little graphs at the top. That's why they probably do the active graphs so that you can see the spikes. If you're looking at it all the time, you might notice of like, hey, I had like 20% left. Why is it not 20% anymore? But because most people aren't doing that unless you're a gamer, a security person, or you're just weird like me, you will not notice. And so since there's no overheating and stuff, you're basically being crypto jacked. And even though they're probably making less by not overclocking your machine, if this hits enough of them, remember, 1,200 packages were hit by this, you can basically overcompensate the less horsepower by how many machines you have compromised. Let's continue this package. This is why this package, other NPM modules turned out either not worked, being too complicated to have some funny stuff going on. This package is made to be transparent, easy, and fast. It can be used on client and CD setups where the machines do nothing for long periods of time, such as existing crypto miners, web servers that don't have a lot of traffic, web servers that are only busy during office hours, or day-to-day office stuff. And this is an example. I'm going to try to zoom in a bit more of like the implementation in JavaScript in the NPM format to actually, like this is its usage, prior easy miner, you have the pools, it's setting up the Monero XMR, the user tag there, and the URL to do the pool, and it doesn't auto start because that would spike the computer, and then it mine starts whenever there's an actual resource. And then you have your XMR IG configs, which is mirrored after the docs perf here, and you have your coins, URL paths, all that stuff. This is how you would actually implement it, and this is probably what is in the CuteBoi malware that's going on. There's also apparently, from what I understand, a web client, so who's ever doing this CuteBoi stuff, whether it's a person, a group, maybe it's a rogue Terminator AI, they actually are not even like doing crazy hacking stuff in the terminal. They were looking at all your computers through a web browser interface. They just go to their local host and connect through. Probably it's an encrypted network on their back end, and they're just looking at how your computer is operating. It apparently does OpenCL GPU support and CUDA GPU support. So if you want to take a more deeper look at this from NPM itself, I'm going to copy it over, and I'm going to put that in the chat. We're almost done covering CuteBoi. It's such a weird name. I don't know why they chose that name. Oh, I do know why they chose that name. Hang on. So the reason why they call it CuteBoi, let's look at the details. It says that Checkmark's SCS team detected a burst of suspicious NPM users and packages automatically created. All the packages contained almost identical duplicates of that EasyMiner NPM package we looked at. Our effort was, yep, blah, blah, blah. At this point, downloading and installing these packages will have no negative effects on the machine. The copy code from EasyMiner includes a minor functionality intended to be triggered from within another program and not as a standalone tool. The attacker didn't change this feature of the code, and for that reason, it won't run upon installation. I do wonder if he has a background switch for this. CuteBoi did, however, make some changes to the miner configuration files. The most interesting of them is the URL, which is mined cryptocurrency to be sent, which is most likely running an XMR proxy. So it's not going to direct server, it's going to like an encrypted, like it's probably bouncing between 3 or more servers before it gets over. And the reason why it's called CuteBoi is because the user is noted as cute. That's what they labeled in all of these packages. So I guess they probably should have just called it, I guess cute person wasn't catchy enough because we don't know the identity or gender, like care really about this attacker. So they just called it CuteBoi, which then makes everything even more weird because it sounds like you're talking about VR tuber femboys than an actual serious thing. It's like when they name like a Category 6 Hurricane Gary, and then it's like, well, no one ran away from it. They called it Gary when they should have been calling it like Hurricane Fuck You Up the Ass. That would make people actually run away from it. Let's see, they have a list of known miners here. See, this is what's going to get us flagged. We're talking about, there's a thing called CuteBoi, and we're talking about miners, but we're talking about like crypto mining, like mining in a cave, not like miners like that. So if like the FBI, like, or Interpol busts through this McDonald's, it's because the AI bots listening on this are interpreting something that is, audio-wise, that is not what we're actually looking at. So just want to put that out there. So let's see, at the heart of these packages are XRM miners, aka the Monero miners. Binaries compiled for Windows and Linux systems are shipped along with packages. The attacker changes the name of these binaries to match the random uses of packages. And as I mentioned in the video, CuteBoi is using an automation to launch malicious packages at scale. Remember, there's over 1,000 NPM packages being compromised, and the way they're doing it is they're using a automated mail client called mail.tm. So there's a mail address here, and that gets the middleman he has a script which is apparently done in Selenium, and that communicates between the mail TM, which is basically MTM is like you need to have an email for account, goes to NLTM. They accept and goes back, and then through that account they make packages and the user account, and then it just keeps repeating over and over again as an endless health cycle, just like SCOTUS. This is such automatic technique was seen before with the Red Lily malware, as they mentioned, where the attacker launched self-hosted server to support such automation. In this case, they're not using a server. They figured out basically a cloud online method how to use it, so it's not using a custom server and registering names. It's using a middleman here, as they call it, fake identity as a service. Let's see, they're using the free email service provider. A disposable email is provided with a reset API, enabling programs to open disposable mailboxes and read the received emails sent to them with a simple API call. So no humans doing this. The actual bot is answering the emails as if it was a human. That's the reality, cyberpunk craziness we live in. I'm going to adjust the camera a bit here. This way, CuteBoi can easily defeat the NPM 2FA challenge when creating a user account. And actually, I'm going to jump ahead here, and we're going to search NPM 2FA, because I want to see what the NPM 2FA, the two-factor authentication is. So you have this is the problem. You need a security key or a one-time password from a mobile app. So let's see. Configure security key requires a modern browser that supports web authentication, which most do. If you've downloaded one the past 2 or 3 years. This allows you to configure biometrics such as Apple Touch ID, Face ID, or Windows Hello, as well as physical keys such as YubiKey, thesis, or VPN, which you could emulate hardware-wise like a YubiKey, so you think you're talking to an actual physical key when it's just a piece of software VM, and someone's milkshake machine, I guess, exploded. To configure the TOTP, you need to install Authenticator application that generates OTP such as Authenticator, Google Authenticator, or Microsoft Authenticator. Or my personal favorite is, I actually have this on my phone here, is I use hold on, sip time. I use OTP, which is an open source OTP or authentic authentic token generator that you can easily get through F-Droid and similar clients. So let's see, you log into NPM, the account, enable 2FA. So the problem with this is because they're not using a phone number or another thing. It's just all digital. It's literally you provide like a security key and an OTP, and that can be emulated through software. This is two-factor. Again, you hear two-factor and you think, okay, it's immediately secure. But because this is entirely truly digital, there's no like outside element or, God forbid, because we're talking about crypto, like government regulation element, such as like a phone number or something like that. This can easily be bypassed. And as I said here, because they're doing these simple API calls, and they're probably also generating their own OTP and security token using the API, it just basically defeats the whole 2FA process with the user account. You can kind of see the client for the mail TM right here for the temp mail. Now, the interesting part about this, and I will share right now the checkmarks article that I've been reading on here, so if you want to look at it, you can. And basically, in a couple of minutes, we're going to go and try to generate those tokens here. First of all, we have found very recently, in the past 24 hours, the actual potential user on NPM who is making all these packages, and that's CuteBoi 12, which, he keeps signing a cute. He's called CuteBoi. It really should have just been called CuteBoi, but I guess they combined the two and made CuteBoi and made the whole name work. But as you can see here, he's just spun up 20 packages all in the same day, all roughly like about a couple of minutes apart, just out of nowhere. It's just absolute random, like gibberish names. And you can easily sneak these sort of things in dependency hell with other NPM packages. So it's just kind of nuts that he's able to do like some sort of automation. Like you can see that this is just like a shell program with the easy miner copied into it, but whatever. If you want to keep up to date on this, as they said, they made a website that's going to track what's going on, because this CuteBoi has not flipped the switch to start mining the packages. So basically, this is like pre-crime from what's that book / movie / TV show called Minority Report, where a crime is actively being committed, but the actual true crime part hasn't initiated yet. But, like, to use programming terms, he's doing all the prerequisites and installs for the crime, but hasn't actually run and executed the crime itself. So, Checkmarks has made a website called CuteBoi.info, and this is a website resource that you can use as this whole story is progressing to check your NPM packages and see if it's one of the ones that CuteBoi has generated up. So as you can see here, there's different ones published 2 weeks ago. It's available, package name, this 2 weeks ago, version 1, and all the other ones I believe are like depreciated ones that NPM has found. But again, he's generated so many of these, as you can see here, and there's even a little thing to show even more fucking crazy packages that he's just like basically he's throwing a wide net and just seeing as he can catch as many fish as he can. And what's even more crazy is that this entire website and the whole tracking thing has been updated to GitHub. So you can actually check the source for this. And in fact, let me actually go in. We should have did this early on. Hold on. I forgot. I actually forgot to do this part. So you're going to see that we do this. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Where I'm actually going to fork CuteBoi over to our DEF CON 201 GitHub, as I mentioned that we had earlier. And these are some outdated pins here. So we're going to get rid of them. And I'm going to pin up to 6, but I think we're only going to do 3. So we're going to do CuteBoi. We should have one for ERC, maybe? No. We have Avalanche and Avalanche Go. And I think that should be good enough. So if you are on Twitch now, our little GitHub widget, you'll be able to see the CuteBoi from checkmarks, the CuteBoi.info tracker, so you can run your own. And the 2 things for Avalanche that we're going to be looking at, actually, there's one more I want to add. I think we have Solidity on here. Whoop. Yep. And also, because we're going to be using this programming language, and actually I want to check one more thing. No, we don't. We also will look at Solidity, Avalanche Go, and CuteBoi. So if you are on our Twitch, you can scroll down next to our Tiltify widget, and you can click on our GitHub, and you can follow along with the code with us. So the next thing we're going to be looking at is we're going to go back to Avalanche, and we're going to learn how to mint an ERC Ethereum token using Solidity code. So we're actually going to do some Web3 stuff and some coding stuff. However, I do want to take a break, and I'm actually going to bring this back over to my face temporarily. So I'm going to take like a 3 to 5 minute break at max. We're going to play some music, just because I want to finish up some noms, make sure all of the stuff I'm going to do with the Web3 stuff that we're about to do when we mint this ERC token is going to happen. Set up some stuff around here and take a breather, because that was a lot, because this literally happened in the span of the past 4 days leading up to Crypto Barons, and some of this info, like who the person was, literally came out 24 hours ago, so I had to cover it. So we're going to take a short 3 minute break. Max will be 5 minutes. But I do want to remind during this segment that, again, we are, because of the whole SCOTUS Roe v. Wade ruling, we are raising funds. Our goal is hopefully $400 by the end of August for the National Abortion Federation, which is a group of people who legally and medical-wise are fighting for people's right to have uteruses. And in general, because of that SCOTUS ruling, the whole note of that, it wasn't even just about like women and uteruses and stuff. It was about privacy. Like literally, that now that ruling has been struck down, any law enforcement, especially if they're federal, state it's optional, but federal law enforcement, so FBI, Interpol, shit like that, they will be able to spy on whatever they designate your bedroom is, under the new SCOTUS ruling in the United States. So like you can literally have the most boring room on the planet, and they could just be like, we're thinking you're doing hanky-panky, and it's like, but I'm a dork and asexual, and I haven't had a partner in like 8 years. But they're like, nope, and then they're going to be like, hey, we found some sketchy GitHub code. It's a calculator, and then they send the FBI over and arrest you. Like, literally, that's the type of crap that's like been happening now since the ruling. So even if you are not a woman, a trans person, just someone with a uterus, this affects you. And again, they're using this as a domino effect to kill a ton of laws. Some of them have already been mentioned. The scary one is the Fourth Amendment. So no amendment, whether you like the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, any amendments. My personal favorite, if I remember correctly, is the 18th one, which says that, people of color can't be slaves and are actual citizens. But basically, all of our laws and amendments are up in the air due to this bullshit. So the very beginning you could do is donate $1, $3, or $5 for the National Abortion Federation. that's going to help people who are going to be stuck between states, try to get stuff, who's going to be sending legal stuff along with the EFF and ACLU in order to combat all of this privacy and just human rights bullshit that's going on. If you want to donate to that, there's multiple ways you can do it while we're on break. And by the way, when you do donate, just like if you follow us on Twitch D Live or YouTube for free, we do get notifications, and I will worship and cheer you on air. Okay? Just putting that for our future live streams. So if you want to donate, you have multiple options here. If you are on Twitch, next to that GitHub widget that I talked about, where you can follow along with code, there is a Tiltify widget, so you can donate without even having to go away from our stream. If you are a very mobile person and you have a phone and you do everything on your phone, we have a little QR code in the corner. Trust me, it's not one of those like man-in-the-middle hackable ones. It's the one Tiltify provided us, and it will load the same donation page through your phone. And as I just did now, if you're on anything else like DLive or Facebook or something, I just put the link where you can donate in chat. And finally, which is I make this particularly for crypto barons, because Tiltify only uses fiat money and not cryptocurrency, don't panic. There's another amazing organization called Medical Students for Choice, which directly helps doctors, nurses, and clinic people, the people who actually do the actual healthcare stuff, so that they know how to do it safely and effectively, despite what a bunch of old, terrible people in our government says. That is done by the Giving Block, which is an amazing cryptocurrency organization that allows you to donate cryptocurrency to charities, and they cover a wide variety of cryptocurrencies, everything from the big mainstays like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Monero, and Doge, all the way down to obscure coins and other shit coins they might have. They also do DOT from Polkadot as well. So I just posted that link in chat as well. So we're going to probably live stream for another 30 or 40 minutes, and then we're going to wrap this up because this place closes at 10 p.m. my time. I'm going to take a short break. It's going to be 2 to 5 minutes long, so I can, eat and breathe. And when we come back after some music for about 3 to 5 minutes, we are going to attempt to configure MetaMask, and we're going to program in Solidity and show you how, if it works, because it's the Avalanche network, it seems that they have really good shit on how to mint a ERC Ethereum-based token entirely through code and Web3 apps. So enjoy the music. Not that music. That was not the music. That's McDonald's imploding right now. I'll be right back. Stay tuned, everyone. Enjoy the music, and then we'll get to the second part of the episode. Here we go. I'll be back in 1 minute. Okay, so that was supposed to be the stinger, but whatever. I am currently back. Told you I was a little bit longer than 5 minutes, unfortunately, because I have no concept of timing. But welcome back to Crypto Barons. Just as a reminder, this is the DCG 201 live stream channel, where we usually stream our meetings, which will happen on this month on July 15th from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Helen's Pizza in Jersey City, New Jersey. It's literally about 4 blocks away from the Grove Street PATH train station, which connects from not only New Jersey Transit itself on our side, but also lower and mid-Manhattan on the New York side. So I'd love for all of you to come out for that. We're going to be posting news about that probably tomorrow. We'll make that big announcement, and I have to do like flyers and everything. And that's going to be the pre-hope special. So we're going to be talking about hackers on planet Earth and have some really cool talks and workshops and stuff. So that'll be really neat. But we also do shows like this, which is Crypto Barons, where as a reminder, this is the show where we look at cryptocurrency and blockchain technologies as technologies. I apologize for everything being so loud in the background because I am currently at McDonald's. Because this is going to be the weird hell that we're going to have for about 2 to 3 months, hopefully. Although the next couple of episodes will probably be a bit more quiet, in theory, because of where we're going to be filming. So we'll get to that when we get there. But our first half of this episode, we talked about the very recent, let me just tilt this up a little bit, the very recent, what was called CuteBoi cryptojacking malware, where someone just poisoned NPM with a ton of NPM.js updates that can easily be sucked into independent hell, and then we can mine cryptocurrency off the computer. It's still an ongoing thing. We covered all of that. But let's now get into what I like to call the meat and potatoes of what today's episode was going to be before that announcement. And that is when we covered the Avalanche network with its Avax token. That was the first time that all the programming stuff just worked flawlessly, and the documentation was amazing and all of that. This time, we're going to revisit this, and we're probably going to revisit Avalanche a couple of times on this, despite me wearing a polka dot shirt. But we're going to revisit Avalanche again, because we tried an episode where we showed how to mint an NFT, and that didn't unfortunately go well. I'm going to revisit that probably very late to early next year. I really want to do an episode where we cover all the stuff that didn't work and why it works now, and why it didn't work and why it works now. So that's a future episode. We might do that the last episode of this year in December as like a, hey, we learned some shit. But this time we're going to apparently mint an ERC-20 tokens, which is based on Ethereum. It's the standard of just your own token coins. And we're going to do this through a combination of modifying MetaMask, and we're also going to be programming in Solidity. And everything worked so well last time that cross your fingers that everything's going to work this time, because they literally made it so that morons like me can follow it. So let's go back to the desktop mode.
The checkmark supply chain
Yeah,
security
oops,
team
sorry,
has
the video
detected some
started
unusual
playing again.
activity on
No,
NPM.
I don't want the video
A
playing.
burst of over
Where
1,200
are
packages.
you? There we go. I got turned off. My bad. This is back at our blog page again. And we're going to be flipping, by the way, between different modes and browsers. No terminal this time. That's one good thing. I wanted to make sure you could do this without terminal. Just because I really want to show how MetaMask works. And I keep wanting to say Metamucil. And the thing about the browser that we're using for OBS is that it's the only one that currently works directly through the OBS like browser viewing. In order to show MetaMask working on Firefox, I'm going to have to switch it over to desktop mode and make everything look weird. So you're going to see weird switching back and forth. So I think you all remember Avalanche. We covered this a couple episodes back. I want to say like 3 episodes or so ago. One of the last episodes where we had like a private place to stream and stuff. This was a very interesting blockchain platform. It's basically a blockchain platform, similar again because they base it off of Ethereum. That they want people building on their stuff. So their rivals are Ethereum, Polkadot, Holochain, all of those. And everything went so well, and they have so many cool projects and documentation on how to build those projects. And we're probably going to revisit Avalanche a couple of times. Like anytime I don't know what to do with an episode, we're probably going to revisit Avalanche and try this stuff. So what we're going to be learning today is we're going to be, as I say here, we're going to create an ERC-20 token, which you should remember when we looked over NFTs and a bit about what like custom tokens are, because we did that like in the middle of last year, using Solidity, which is another programming language that not only did we look at when we covered Polkadot, but we also learned how to program decently with the help of 2 rounds of crypto zombies. So as I wrote here, ERC-20 tokens are the most fundamental and essential concept. And let me just zoom in and make this a little bigger. The most fundamental and essential concept in Ethereum. As the Avalanche community ecosystem grows, new use cases and projects are running on Ethereum, or different chains will be implemented to Avalanche. The token standard that we'd be using for this project is non-specific, and anyone create their own standard and their own tokens. That's how, again, we talked about flexibility of Avalanche. That was one of the big things about that. So therefore, in this tutorial, they're going to be teaching us how to create their own mintable ERC-20 token, and they're going to mint it to any address that we want. The token will be generated on the Avalanche C chain. Remember, they had the 3 different chains, the C, V, and I think L or something like that. And we're going to have access to the chain. So the 2 things that we're going to have to do here is write a smart contract and Solidity to Avalanche. And then we're going to have to configure MetaMask in order to accept the token. So this is going to be the weird part where I'm going to have to switch over to desktop mode and pray that the demo gods actually like me. Bring this down here. So we're going to have to go into display desktop mode. So I apologize. Everything's going to look really weird. But actually, before I even do that, I just want to remind again that due to the whole terrible SCOTUS ruling, and not only did this ruin a lot of hackers who just happen to have vaginas, but it also ruined just a ton of bad prices. Oh, and oh my God, what happened here? The Death of Death. That's a great name, by the way. That is because most people who donate, by the way, to the charity drives we do, they try to screw us over with. There's the thing. They try to screw us over with what do you call it? With their names. Every time someone donates, we're always like, "Thank you, E14GY." They're like keypass generated passwords as usernames. So first of all, not only is that a real name, but the Death of Death. That is a cool ass name. Thank you for donating $10 to a really good cause, which is to the National Abortion Federation. He's laughing, and they're laughing in there. I don't know your gender. MX.death, I guess I would call you. But yeah, thank you for donating to the National Abortion Federation because, again, with the SCOTUS ruling, it's not just about women's rights and uterus and stuff, which is very important, I might add, because, you know, Diane Initiative, if people with uteruses did not exist in the hacker scene, I shit you not, there would be no internet. Steve Jobs would just be sitting on his hands at NextQ with nothing to do, just like what he did when he returned to Apple. So, you know, this is not only a problem of just, you know, human fundamental rights, but this also destroys a lot of privacy stuff for all United States citizens. They basically extended the, I'm trying to remember the name of that ruling, not the Geneva Convention, worst convention, by the way, ever, but the, I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's like the dumbest law. It basically allowed all of our three-letter agencies to truly do whatever they want to the United States citizens, which is why we're all cattle now. But yeah, they've expanded all of that shit, and now they can bully us even more. Like, even if you were born with a ding-dong, you're screwed over by this. And you're going to be further screwed over because they have already announced a list of rules that SCOTUS now wants to look into to overturn, including amendments and fundamental stuff that was written in the original Constitution that's not supposed to be changed, but they're looking to change it because these are evil son of a fucks. So thank you for donating to that. Hopefully we'll reach our 400 goal by the end of October. In the end of August, after all of Hacker Summer Camp happens, because as I showed, it's going to be going on for 2 months. And again, I'm pretty sure someone's going to donate like $380, and that $10 is what's going to make us reach our goal. So thank you so much, Death of Death, for doing that. And if you want to continue to donate, and because right now they're the top donor, and they're the first donor. So if you want to donate like $15, $20, or be total Price is Right asshole, which I love, and do like $10.50 just to knock them off the leaderboard up here, or just do a big amount so that no one in fucking hell can compete with you. We can do that. We will also, every episode that we stream, list the names of people who donated and thank them. So, Death of Death, every episode from now until the end of August, and possibly even on our website/blog, we will mention your name for the next 2 months on here. So thank you. But if you want to donate, try to knock Death off of the leaderboards. If you're on Twitch, there's a little Tiltify widget that you can scroll down to and donate without leaving. There's a QR code in the corner that I promise is not a middle of a man attack. Tiltify provided us that, and you can donate through there. If all else fails, here's the direct link to our donate page in the chat. And finally, because we are crypto barons, you know, you're probably there like, well, I don't trust in fiat money. I have cryptocurrency. How can I? Hold on. You know, I believe in cryptocurrency. What just happened here? Hold on, let me just unfuck this. There we go. Like, I believe in cryptocurrency. Like, you know, I have Monero. You know, how do I donate? Because I don't want to donate in like real money. What do you want, Neanderthal? The Giving Block, which is a cryptocurrency group that allows you to donate cryptocurrency to charity causes, has medical students for choice as a listing, they train doctors and medical professionals on how to provide safe and legal abortions, even if it's just advice. So if you want to donate your Monero, your love potions from Axiom Infinity, your Bitcoin, your Ethereum Classic, they support a ton of different currencies. You can also donate to there. Show us the receipts on our social media or through email, and we will also shout you out. So, without further ado, we have about 35 to 40 minutes left in this episode. Let's make the screen all weird, and we're going to go over to proper Firefox, and we are going to configure MetaMax, and hopefully everything will be cheery. So here we go. I'm just going to, like, extreme close-up. Whoa! What minute? Hold on a moment. Why is display screen not working? Oh, okay. I have a new idea here. Let's see if this actually works, okay? We're going to see if this actually works. Okay, so that wasn't that. Because I remember there was a new thing where I think it was like the mirror thing broke. So I just want to see if this actually works. So just give it one moment. And I just want to see if it will actually mirror. This is kind of what our OBS looks like, by the way. If it doesn't mirror properly, we will figure out another way to hopefully show this thing. So I'm just looking at, because it's like a couple second lag. Okay, unfortunately, I don't think, yeah, that did not work. Crap. Alright, so we're going to kind of improvise here a bit. So again, my apologies on this. I'm going to flip back to here. I'm still trying to figure out why display screen is not working. I'm going to try different settings here. Don't you love, like, going through this Let me try setting up a new one and see if anything changed. So, display capture. So not that. Because I'm going to add another display capture here, and I'm going to see if that does it. If not, I will talk about setting up MetaMask, and I'm just going to have to wing and go with it. So I apologize. Welcome to computing. So I'm going to set up a display capture 3 here. And unfortunately, yeah, for some reason the display capture is not working, and all this reminds me of is the fact that I really need to, like, I'm in process of hopefully by October getting a new computer just for streaming like this one, but there's more recent and more better and like a lot better, because this machine is honestly falling apart. There's keys that aren't working and stuff like that. It's also an excuse for me to not only display, which, by the way, we do have our cryptocurrencies. I don't think we have them now, but sometimes when we stream on Twitch, I have the cryptocurrencies listed that you can donate to me, my wallets. And I'm eventually going to have to, which I've been doing for a couple of months, redesigning and reopening our store so we can use some of that money in order to upgrade our live streams. So unfortunately, because that's not going to work, what we're going to have to do instead is I'm just going to talk about walking through MetaMask, and then I'm going to set up on my end, and you're just going to have to believe me on this. Or I actually might be an asshole, and I might take the camera, point it at the screen like I'm a toad, and you can view it that way. So actually, let me set that up right now. So let's actually go back into just chatting mode. And I'm going to see if I can now, everything's going to look really weird. You're going to see the rest of the McDonald's, okay? I am going to take the camera, and you're going to fly magically through the air, and I'm going to try to do it in a way where I can point this at the computer. And we're going to do this Ultra Hacksaw bootleg style. You ready? Here we go. You're flying! You're flying! You're flying! All right. So, welcome to high-end Hacksaw technology, where we have to point everything at the screen like we are like some, person in the middle of a village somewhere, playing techno music with their text files open, talking about advanced programming stuff, and you have to play the video 5 times to understand what's going on over the techno music that sounds like the DJ is playing Bjork albums in a migraine. So, first thing we're going to have to do is set up the MetaMask wallet. So let's see, we're going to have to do the custom RCP method, which is not related to Insane Clown Posse, I might add. So this is where MetaMask is. It's going to take a second to load. I have to type in my password, so this is going to be fun. I'm going to point you guys up at my face. Hi there. Ooh, this is some scary shit, right? It's like, right? So I'm going to type in my super secretive password here to log into MetaMask. And I'm sure a lot of you are trying to listen to like the background to figure out like what keys I'm typing. But here we go. I'm logged in, so we're going to go up to the menu option, and let's see here. So I just want to see where we have to go here. So we're going into that option, and we're going to go to the custom RCP. So I think this is slightly outdated because MetaMask often updates without no one knowing. So I have to go in here. Okay. So we have all these. So we're going to add a network. That's the new one. Okay, so it's going to take me to a different page. And we're going to connect the MetaMask to the C chain using this. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy pasta a lot of this in. So the network name is going to be Avalanche C chain. We're going to put that in here. And then we're going to have, let me see if I can bounce this out a bit further here. Again, I apologize for how pleb this looks, and I know there's like a lot of glare and stuff, but this until OBS manages to become a competent piece of software and our computer stops being a piece of shit, this is what we're gonna have to do here. So this is the C chain. So now we're gonna use the URLs. So let's see which chain ID here. I think. If we're linking to the C chain, I think we're going to link to the testnet, right? So I'm just going to go to the, I actually want to skip ahead just to see, make sure, let's see, Avalanche wallet, funding on local testnet. Okay, so we're going to use the local address for the RCP URL here. So the new RCP URL, we just copy paste it there. And then the chain ID, the local testnet, is 43112. This is all public information, so it's not like anybody hacking it. Again, we're going to run this through localhost, so this doesn't kill my Wi-Fi setup. Let's see, cannot this RCP URL correct? Huh. Did they change the numbers? Are we going to be stuck now and have to end the episode early? I hope not. Let's see here. Let's actually go back to the mainnet. See if that number improves. So we're going to go to mainnet, and then the mainnet number is 43114. Let's see if that chain ID works. RCP URL. Okay, so that worked. That worked for some reason. And then the symbol is going to be Avax. So put that in there. And then the Explorer, which is optional, but we're going to do this, is we're going to use Snow Trace. And actually, let's see, Fuji is the testnet. So actually, let's change this over to the Fuji testnet, because I don't want to deploy this on the mainnet and be like, DCG201 is now like responsible for like destroying the entire Avalanche network, even though the Avalanche network seems to be well engineered, simply because he's a fucking idiot. So as I'm going to go up here, so we just put the network name here as the C chain, we put in the RCP URL, which is going to be the test network, which is known as, I just forgot what it's called, known as Fuji, like Mount Fuji. We put the chain ID for it, we named it Avax. And just optional, because we're going to use it later, we're going to put in the Block Explorer. So once we have all that in, we should be able to hit all of that, and we should have Avax up and running. And it's saved, so this is our account in here. 0 Avax at the moment. And if we go into MetaMask here, it also pops up over here. So I could actually close this window. And when you click, see I have all my little icons up here. When you click on that, it's all set up over here. So now we're going to put my face back on, because it can peel off very easily. See, I'm over here now. And now we're going to actually switch back to the Fire of Foxes. We're going to go back to desktop mode, and we're going to do the rest of the fun part here. So let's see. So we did all of this. As Disney's then going to DMC us due to a ringtone. So let's see. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna fund our C chain address. So because we use the Fuji network, we're gonna use the test network faucet. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna paste our C chain address. So we're gonna load up. This is the Fuji chain. This is the Avax, and we're gonna get a bit of the test network version of Avax, just so that we're all good here. So I'm going to switch back. This is the part you're not going to see. And let's see. I'm going to copy pasta the account number, and we should be able to put that in there. And we can only do one request every 24 hours. That's the URL for that. Let's zoom in a bit on here so everybody can see. Because I'm going to kill this afterwards, so there's no way in hell I can steal shit from me. So, let's see here. The C chain address, and this should give us 2 Avax for our test network. So, we just transaction successful. We have the ID here, so on Snowtrace you can actually see the transaction on here. And of course, I believe if we connect to the different networks, we can still get 2 AVAXs for local. Local, we could actually spin it up on our own using code, because it's literally our own local test network. It's not going to impact any of the main networks. We covered that. We covered Avalanche, but I'm going to move this back over here. But just didn't want to do anything crazy on the main network here. If we have to switch back due to programming issues, I will totally do so. And again, we're going to be using Snowtrace a lot in the future. let's see. Oh, and apparently the faucet, which I'm actually going to bookmark now, actually has an auto thing where you can click on it and just add to MetaMask, but we won't be able to do that with this browser. So we just added some funds. Let's see. So now that we have that, we're going to now create the mintable token. So we're going to go to Open Remix, and let's see what's here. And the way by the way, we're going to mint this token is we're going to be using Open Zeppelin in our Solidity contract. You probably remember a couple episodes ago we actually covered Open Zeppelin and how Open Zeppelin basically the programming library that you use to minimize risks and just basically tidy up the code for smart contracts in Solidities using ERC. And since we're using ERC-20, that's what we're going to cover here. So we are now into Remix here, and they're giving us a little tour here of everything. Let me just double check to make sure everyone can kind of read that. So let's see. Open Remix IED. So over here's the Solidity compiler, which I think when we eventually do the one where we launch our own true smart contract, I think with an NFT on Avalanche, we will actually, I think, use the main compiler. So this is where you have the .sol files. Again, we learned that when we did Crypto Zombies. And then this area is where you actually deploy the contract. So that's the base tour here. So let's see. So we're going, so let's see. We're in Open Remix. And on the first page, we're going to click Solidity from Feature Plugins. And then click New File. So Solidity, let's go back here. Let's actually move you over. So let's see. Scam alert, beware of online videos promoting liquidity from front runner bots. Ooh, I want to learn more from this. What's going on here? Let's take a short detour. Remix in your crypto scams, because of course there's scams built into cryptocurrency, because you know reasons. So apparently it's been bots and liquid swap. Okay, that might be it. When we do a sequel to hacks and scams, I'll probably cover that in there. So let's see. So it said Solidity from featured plugins. Okay, so we've done that. So we're not using all of these. We're just using Solidity. And then it just says create the new file button. Oh, you can also load from GitHub or IPFS or an HTTP or GIST if you're truly fucking nuts. But we're going to just do what they say and do new file. When you click new file, you see a pop-up that requires a file name. You can choose a name or leave it at default. We're just going to use it. Yeah, we're just going to use it as default. And then since we're using from Open, remember I said Open Zeppelin? We're going to be using the ERC from there. We're going to copy pasta the link into import here. So we're going to copy pasta into our remix. Wait a minute. Should be untitled remix test soul counts. Just trying to make sure we're following this right. So. Want to see what's in here so far. There's the README, mix default workstation. I just want to make sure everyone can read this. So now I realize how the text is. I'm actually going to zoom in. We're going to have about 20 to 30 more minutes on the stream, by the way, so everyone know. Scripts. I'm trying to see what they're doing here. I guess we're going to have to just add its own new file in the main branch here. So we're going to create new file, and that file is going to be called untitled one, maybe. Hold on. So new file. So we're doing that, and then, like I said, we copy pasted over. And why is it not copy pasting over? Copy that. There we go. So what we have done here, just get rid of the, hold on a second. Alright, I didn't realize the spacing was that wide. So what we're doing is we're importing directly from this section of GitHub from Open Zeppelin, which I actually did not even know existed. So I'm actually going to go back. Oh, sorry. I forgot to remove import. I only want the URL. Only the URL. Let's see. Cool. Alright, so I'm actually going to fork this into our repo. So particularly if you're following on Twitch, you should be able to contracts. I'm going to pin this. Open Sesame, right? So I'm going to add that to there so you can follow along with our GitHub over here. And I'm going to put the GitHub link in chat. Do you do your own crypto, or are you a developer? Someone asked. Okay, so recap quickly what this channel is, because then we only have like 20 or 25 minutes left. I'm Sidepocket. That's what people on the internet call me. I am one of the two co-founders of DEFCON 201, DCG 201, formerly known as DEFCON 201 or DC 201. We are one of the many DEFCON hacking groups, DEFCON hacking groups across the United States and around the world. We normally meet the third Friday of the month at Helen's Pizza in Jersey City, New Jersey. In fact, our next meeting will be on the 15th at Helen's Pizza. July 15th from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. I'm going to, just for you, because if you want to know more information, where did my streaming text disappear? I'm going to post to you our blog link. So you can go, like, open a new tab and check us out and see our announcements and stuff. And I'm also going to open our link tree that shows you all of our social media. And if you like what you see here, because I see you're on DLive, we're streaming on Twitch, DLive, and YouTube. And if you like what you see and you also want to get reminders and notices from when we live stream, you can follow us completely for free on there. And if you do, we get notifications and cheering on. We're also raising funds for the National Abortion Federation, which is basically, we're pissed at the SCOTUS ruling, not only because of how it's affecting all sorts of female and femme hackers and hackers who have uteruses, and we already got $10 donations from the Death of Death. Still awesome name for that. But it's also not only knocking a huge privacy right, so you're affected by this because now the government can spy on you even more. Like, even if you're a dude with a dong, Roe v. Wade overturned, just screwed you over with complete privacy. And they're also using this as a template to knock over a ton of amendments and other laws in the United States, where basically they're going to turn this worse than 1984. So everything's fucked right now, but in order to stop the immediate bleedings that my plan intended, we're trying to raise by the end of August $400 for that. Real quick, if you want to donate, there's multiple different ways of how you can donate, even if it's just $1 or $5. That really helps, and it also, we often, when we reach our goals, because a ton of people donate like $3 to $5 rapidly in a row or over time, I just post the link in chat where you can donate on Tiltify. We use Tiltify because it's a third-party trusted thing. The money never touches us; goes somewhere else, and trustworthy, I might add. And you can also scan the QR code in the corner, or if you're on Twitch, we have a widget where you can do it right there. If you have cryptocurrency and you don't trust fiat money and you want to donate, you can also donate the Medical Students for Choice in any of the cryptocurrencies you please, from major ones like Bitcoin and Monero, all the way down to unknown, up-and-coming new unknown coins and shit coins, despite its bearish market right now. And I just post the link to that. If you're on DLive and you follow us, we'll cheer you on. If you want to send lemons and you stream or other people stream, we often send lemons to people who stream on DLive from the lemons that we get. So that's just a nice thing right there. So let's get back to trying to, what we're doing right now, by the way, is we're trying to mint an ERC token in Solidity using a Git template from OpenZeppelin on the Avalanche network, which is the Avax token, which we just did a faucet for in order to get this to run. So we're going to go back to Remix here. So we're going to save the file, and then there's going to be a bunch of files, apparently, that's going to be imported. So let's see, how do we save? Link to documentation. Do we just, what do we do? So we have that. It says to save. We have like 20 minutes left. Let's see. Let's paste the link there. Okay. After saving the file, a bunch of stuff should show up. So let's try that again. So I'm gonna go rename, delete. Publish file to GIS, copy, flatten, compile. Oh, this is saved. No, rename, create, trash, download from workspace, restore workspace backup. I am right now trying to figure out how the fuck you save this. I don't want to save the actual page. I just want to save this file. Because if I'm in here, it's just going to take me to a line 2. I don't want a line 2. What I want is to save this and then have it run. And I guess the documentation is a little out of date because I have no idea how to fucking save this thing. So that's just a note tray. Clear console, all transactions, search transactions, file, search files, Solidity compiler, deploy, run transactions, analytics. How the fuck do you save a file on here? Here's my other thing. Can I drag and drop stuff? No, I can't. Just see what's going on here. So, after saving the file, how do you save the file? Maybe now there's a direct import function from Git. Let's find out. Yeah, I kind of want to go back to it's Solidity here, and let's see. I'm going to do load from GitHub, and we're going. Oh, wrong thing. we're not doing the blocking that, but I just want to see because I think maybe they changed some stuff around. So I'm going to start a new file, and instead I'm going to use that GitHub option, and we're going to import from there right in the start, because this tutorial seems to be a little outdated, and we'll see what happens here. So we're doing import. There we go. Okay. And so now we have all this in here. So that's good. All right. So now that's what we had to do. That was the difference there. So we just imported all of that. See, we're hack sorting. So app saving this list, we have a bunch of files. Remix fixture allows us to import GitHub repositories. Okay. Alright, so we should have in Open Zeppelin under presets, we should have the ERC-20 preset minter pauser. So we're going to take a look at that. That's a mouthful, isn't it? So Open Zeppelin presets, here it is. So this is all the code for that. I love this thing. I'm totally going to Ethereum remix it, or Ethereum. Every Ethereum thing, we're going to do this through browser because it's so easy to do. Instead of me trying to configure the piler to work on OBS, even though you guys like to watch me suffer with that. So, let's see here. So the untitled thing here. Let's see, Pragma Solidity. You have to declare what version. That's what we learned on the Crypto Zombies. Importing various different soul files here. We have the ability to burn and destroy tokens, because that's how we're going to actually mint these things. And then we construct a whole string memory system for our ERC, so we can properly classify them and name them. Then there's the minting process itself over here. Let me just zoom in. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more, so like the pixels are as big as hams. There we go. And then we have the minting function itself. We have a pause function, so that can like unpause and pause token transfer, so we don't cluster the network. And then we have the whole wrapping it up on a loop with the before transfer. Let me just scroll up here. Just want to check chat real quick. And let's go back to tutorial. So this file is written in Open Zeppelin. After deploying the file, you'll be the owner of the contract that's on authority over the mint tokens. Okay. So on the second tab, which is Solidity compiler, We're going to select the Solidity version that matches the Solidity version, and the file is Pragma Solidity, whatever. The version should be equal to or higher than the file version, which is something we learned from our Crypto Zombie episodes. So yeah, so let's do that reference there. So at the top it says 8.0 and higher. So we need to go to. All right, so this is Solidity compiler. And right now it's the 616, so I'm just going to be perfectly safe and just do 8 right there. So we've set that to that. After Solid version, we click the compile button. If we do not change anything, a Solid version is not wrong. The contract should compile without any errors. So we're gonna. I just want to look at a. Let's see. So that whole thing should there. So we're not going to compile on run script. We're just going to compile. Let's see if any errors pop up. Error not found. GitHub open Zeppelin open contracts context sold. Go back into files. So it said the error was open Zeppelin contract utilities. Contract. Ah, okay. Let's go back to that GitHub. And let's see if that still exists in there or not. Trying to get back to the actual. No, I don't want that. No! Don't do this to me. So, let's go back. So where they say that the branches, Open Zeppelin contracts, contract utilities. Okay. Open Zeppelin contracts, utilities. Hold on. I keep clicking the wrong thing. Context. That's what it's missing, its context. Okay, so for some reason, this was not in there. I don't know why. So, I just want to double check if there's a contract section or not. Yep, token, ERC. I wonder why it did not. Let me just double check to make sure I have like the images lined up and everything. GitHub. Let's just double check. Yeah, it should all be fine. Okay. So let's see what we can do here to unfuck this. Let's go into, let's go back into here, and let's see. Let's load from GitHub again. I'm going to actually put in the, token. No, that's not what I wanted. I'm actually going to put in, let's see, the utilities in the contract and see if it can import that in just as is. Not found. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. I'm going to go to the context directly. See if we can do any of that. Alright. So, just turned into that actor going, alright. Let's try to GitHub import the direct soul file here. Okay. So, pills. So it should be in. Okay. Alright, so now that that's there, let's try compiling it again and see what pops up. So now we're missing another thing, which is the access controls. Contracts, access controls. Now I'm curious about why the whole thing did not import correctly. Let me just check something here with the tutorial. Because again, at like 9:40, 9:50, we're going to have to hard end it, no matter what we want to do. Because like it should have imported the entire thing. Because I don't want to keep going through different sol files and having to do like all 8 million of them. Let's try one, and if this keeps going, I'll restart this again real quick, and we'll just import the entire root directory here. So this is contracts, access control numeral. Access. Let's set here access controller numeral. It's not access control, right? It's just access control, okay? So we're going to import this now. If it does this again, then I'll just start from scratch and I'll do the entire root directory. So I guess that's something that's kind of missing from their guide. So their guide's kind of like slightly outdated. All right, so we've imported that improperly. And now let's try running it again. Extensions. Wasn't that the thing we import? Hold on. Preset minter parser. Okay. Possible. So now we're doing token ERC contracts, token ERC extensions. Oh boy. Token. Let's see. ERC-20 extensions, and we're going to grab plausible. I hope it's not going to make us go through all like 8 million of these, because I will absolutely go fucking insane if that's the case, and I will just literally start this thing all over again and just import the root directory now. Okay. Now, let's try this again. Burnable. I guess I'm gonna keep doing these, and if it gets to 2 minutes later, I'll just restart the whole thing all over again. Now we have burnable that we have to import. Because I have to keep running back and forth on this, this is honestly more boring than I thought it would be. Like it was all the way exciting even with the MetaMask stuff up until this point. Okay, so I run this again. Now we're actually missing the ERC part. Import that in. Is that in con? That's a token. Okay, so. God, I was not expecting all this crap. Alright. Just want to check the chat real quick. Okay, we're going good. We have like 19, no, we have like 15 more minutes left, I would say, max. Okay, contract security plausible. Let's go and import that. Alright, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think we're going to start an entire new file, and I am just going to go in and let me just double check something. So the original file listing here, GitHub, Open Zeppelin contracts. Okay, I need to import. Let me look at the thing. Let me look at the picture again. The folders. I'm just going to import all the contracts. I'm just going to import the whole fucking thing. And then particularly target the preset miner parser. So we're going to start a whole new thing, but we're going to go all the way back to here. Hopefully this thing will be awesome. So we're going to do Solidity, new file. Hold on, what's going on? What did I just do? Yeah, I want to see something here. I think you just have to keep doing these. Okay, so the new one here. So now I'm just going to eat through these, and I'm just going to copy paste it, not found. What was it again? It's in token ERC extensions, the I one. Open Zeppelin, contracts, tokens, ERC. Contract, tokens, ERC. And then this one should be extensions, and then the I one. So this is the ERC-20 metadata. So we're going to import that into our thing. And worst comes to worst, we will just import a bunch of things, and then at like 9:52 on my end, we'll just like rage quit all of this. So now IREC, and that was contracts token ERC IREC. Excuse me. I'm sorry if this seems kind of boring. I was not expecting to have to import so much shit in order for it to actually run. Like, I'm worried it's going to now make me import every single thing in here when I shouldn't have to. Let's see. Contracts, kill, structs, and utilities, structs, and this is enumerable set. So let's go in here, import this again. This is like the worst. I think I've copy pasted in here more than I've ever done on what's that website? I can't think today. On Stack Overflow. Like, this is more copy pasting than I ever do on Stack Overflow. Contracts, access control. Access control, beep boop beep, access control. Let's import that. I guess maybe the way it used to work was that I guess the way it used to work is that, like, I guess when you did that whole import thing, that it imported everything, but now it, like, only imports sections at a time, I guess. So, or maybe that's what that other program was, but my whole thing... Oh, wait a minute, I have an idea. Alright, let's do this. This is going to be our last import here. And Okay, so I have an idea. I think this is what I was supposed to do. So there was that untitled, right? We had it somewhere in here. Tokens, blah, 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 extensions, text, untitled soul. Let's compile this. Is that what they meant by save? Or let's see. Expected but got an end of source. Okay. Let me see here. Expected a semicolon but got that. Let's see here. All right. This should have been a lot easier than what the episode was supposed to be. So I have honestly no idea what's going on here. Let me just reread the instructions to make sure I'm not a dumbass. Yep, see, they just announced that, so we have like 5 minutes left here. Yep, thank you. So let's see here. We ERC contract. This file. Next feature allows import GitHub URL linked with import statement. Alright, so let me figure something out. We're going to stream for 3 more minutes here, so I apologize in advance. So far, we haven't been able to get it to work, but I'm going to keep trying. So, I just want to test something here. Because the weird part in all of this is that I'm supposed to, like, we save or run this file and it opens. So now I'm actually wondering if we go back to here, do GitHub, and do that. Not found. Okay. Let's just try this. And without this, I'm going to actually try the HTTPS and see if it makes any fucking difference here. So, let's see here. Let's see what's going. Alright, I'm going to try the HTML importer to just see if I can just import the entire root directory on here. Because that would honestly make this whole thing easier, because we could do every single file that we could possibly need, and then we just run the one program. Import. Okay, so the problem is, I think it only does the .sol. Let's see. Now I'm curious about something here. So let's see. Next IED. Yes. I'm just curious. All right, 2 more minutes, everyone, then we're going to wrap up here. So I'm sorry that this thing gets a 1, which is weird because the Avax stuff was really good up until this point. I think it's just they probably updated the whole Ethereum remix thing and just totally kind of destroyed like how this whole thing is supposed to work. I think that's literally what happened here. Oh, wait a minute. I think I just realized what I was supposed to do. Hold on. Let's try this. Okay, because even if we don't get the minting part, at least we can end this here, and then we can do a follow-up. That's the semicolon. So we're going to go in and we're going to compile. I think that's what it was talking about. There we go. Now it has all the stuff in it. There we go. That's what it was. It was classic programming thing. It was a semicolon that frickin' did it. Isn't that fucking wild? All right, so now we're going to go back. See, this brought in everything. So now we're going to go back to the parser. We might be able to finish this really fucking quick now. So we have all of that, and it says to compile it, and then we have to deploy the contract. Let's see if we have enough time to do that, because I just want to see if this compiles. Why did it not compile? Do I still have to do all this? Oh, I still have to do all this, don't I? And actually, let's go back. I have an even better idea. This might clear up everything. So let's see here. It says what we don't have is contracts access in the I one, right? So contracts. Where I just did. Where did I go? What just happened? Contracts access. And it says we don't have the I-access control. No, we do have it. Here it is. I-access control enumerable, right? So why won't it compile? So that ran. So let's go back. Let's go back to our original program here. Let's do contracts. What was the name of the file? And then we're going to unfortunately have to end this because I've run out of time. Again, classic programming thing. It was a fucking semicolon. That's what did it. One fucking semicolon. Contracts ERC presets. Okay. I think it might be just because it's like in a folder. So presets. Let's see if this actually goes now. Now, my thought on this is it's because I think I've imported too many things, which means I should probably just start a whole new thing. Because basically everything's in too many nested folders now, so I'm going to leave page. But, you know, we figured out it was a semicolon. They did not put the fucking semicolon in. Okay, so Avalanche, you need to go back and stick the semicolon at the end of your import thing, otherwise it will confuse everybody. You had insanely good documentation up until that point, but at least now we figured it out, and I also forgot that they have a dark mode. Alright, so unfortunately that's going to be it for our episode. I do want to quickly shout out before we wrap things up, and if you are on Twitch, stay tuned because we are going to raid someone else's channel in a bit. That in addition to our upcoming meeting on the 15th at Helen's Pizza in Jersey City from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be at A New Hope. That's the Hackers on Planet Earth conference out in Queens this year from July 22nd to 24th. And this is important for two reasons. One, I have my own panel along with XIO, aka Neo, called Pennsylvania 65000. It's going to be an entire fun retrospective on the Hotel Pennsylvania. So if you were ever at Hope or Hotel Pennsylvania in general, we want you to come and share your story along with ours. If you have no idea about the hotel that we were at before all of this, come to Hope, attend the panel. You're going to learn a lot what Hope was and the situations we were in. There's going to be a lot of stuff that statute of limitations are gone, so this is going to be really neat. The other thing is that there are going to be multiple cryptocurrency talks there. So there's going to be a talk called Teaching Computer Ethics in the Age of Computer Politics by Emma Stam. That's going to include crypto and Web3 stuff and various infrastructure. And there's going to be a talk called You Pay for That, Payment Systems, Surveillance, and Dissent about being anonymous and secure cryptocurrency. And there's going to be two workshops, one about cryptography and smart contracts security. And then there's another workshop called Plausible Deniability in Cryptocurrency, which is more of like a legal end of doing that. And the reason I bring it up is that I don't know what dates yet. I'll probably know by next week or in the next week and a half. But in between 22nd and 24th, will be the next crypto barons, the next master of unlocking, and the return to circuit breakers. So stay tuned. And I'm going to switch back over to my face on the announcements of those days, because we're going to be airing exclusive master of unlocking, and that crypto barons, there's people there I'm reaching out to see if we can interview them for the Crypto Barons show. So that's going to be the next episode. It's going to be either the July 22nd, 23rd, or 24th. I won't know which one, but we'll make that announcement soon. So sorry to rush, but they have to close up here. Thank you for all tuning in. If, again, you want to donate to the National Abortion Federation, I'm going to post the charity link one last time. You can also still use the QR code while you're on air, or if you're on Twitch, go to the Tiltify widget. And again, if you're on Twitch, stay there, because we're going to raid someone else's stream, and I want everyone to say hi to that person. If you have cryptocurrency, you can also donate to the Medical Students for Choice with the cryptocurrency that you please. If you want to check us out for our upcoming episodes, such as when we do those Hope episodes and other specials, and our meeting episode on the 15th, you can go to our Medium blog, which I'm going to post here, which is defcon201.medium.com. That's also where you're going to get our guides for Hacker Summer Camp. And then you can also check us out on social media, such as our our Twitter at defcon21nj, or Instagram at defcon201. And here's the master link to where all of those links are. And lastly, if you want to talk with us, because I'm trying to use it more, we normally use it for CTF stuff, which we will be doing very soon, but we do have a Discord, and I just posted that link in chat. Again, thank you all for watching Crypto Barons. I'm sorry for the rush end, but this place is currently closing. We will return to this and actually mint the thing, and maybe even deploy a smart contract in a future episode. But the next episodes will be about all the cryptocurrency stuff on Hackers on Planet Earth on 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. So stay tuned to those announcements. I'm Sidepocket from DC221. Thank you for watching. Hack the Planet, Dirty Jersey represent, and remember, semicolons are the bane of all programming existence. The Avax, put that semicolon at the end, because that just confused the fuck out of me, even though I've been programming for years, because I was like, what, semicolon? I thought it was like in the actual code. No, it was for the actual import command. Put that in there, because semicolons, it's like with Python with semicolons and comments. It's like, fucking semicolons. Say hi to whoever we raid. Peace. See you next episode. Enjoy the music.
Go down. I've seen hell in you, but you don't care, no, you don't care, no. You just rather watch me fall. From a quarter mile, I can see you at the call. Think about it, ring won't tell you what I saw. When you break it off, you'll see